Are we live? I mean, are we on? Not live, but are we on? Yeah, we're on. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Tell a friend, okay? This video is basically only going to be based on my opinions on the story that's going around the internet about Yandy and mendeecees. Now, if you don't know who those people are, a lot of people probably don't know who they are, but they are Love and Hip Hop stars. They used to be in the Love and Hip Hop New York franchise. Now, the whole storyline that they had was the husband got arrested, mendeecees got arrested, and then he was going to go to jail for a few years, so they decided, okay, we're going to get married. So they ended up getting married, which the whole wedding was pretty much for show, because she never signed the papers, she never sent it to the courthouse to be verified as actual married people, which was a very smart thing that she did. But I think throughout him being in jail for like 8 years or some crazy number like that, she ended up fixing the papers. I think I'm just, don't quote me on that, but I do know he went to jail. She got married to him prior to him going to jail, which is like the stupidest thing that she could have ever done. Why would you get married to a man that's getting ready to go to jail? First of all, that was one thing that she made a mistake in. But even when that they were getting married, I already knew in my head, I'm like, yo, she's stupid for doing that. That is not going to last. I don't believe that he would do the same thing for her if the roles were reversed. And that was from like when I was watching that show, I'd say like years and years ago. I mean, maybe 3 years ago. But he did went to jail for I think 5 to 8 years, if I'm not mistaken. So he came out, I believe last year he came out. Before he came out, she was doing this whole thing for the inmates because they weren't getting like blankets or something. It was really cold in New York and they weren't being treated properly. She was like riding outside of the jail. She was being such a good wife, you know, which is good for some people. To each his own. I don't know if I'd be able to do all that, but then again, I've never had anybody who is in jail that I had to go visit or that I had to deal with. So I don't know, like I just couldn't imagine doing all of that. But she did get married to him. She never sent the papers to the court to be reviewed or to be like an official marriage. And then he came out, and I guess they were on marriage boot camp a few weeks ago or last week, and they were in front of a, I'm fixing my thing here. They were in front of a counselor or whatever, and they were talking, and they pull out the question like asking mendeecees, would you have held her down? Mind you, they have kids, they have children. I think they have one kid together, and he had a child prior to that. So she basically like held the whole family together. She was doing her shit. Like I said before, better woman than me, but she was doing her thing. And they asked him if he would have held her down if the roles were reversed. First of all, his answer was so cringy, was so disgusting, was so terrible. But at the end of the day, I see where he's coming from, because I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to do that. But as a man and as a husband and as someone who she basically held down for all these years that he went to jail, my answer would have been different. Even if I wouldn't want to be, you know, in jail for that person, I would have said, sure, with a straight face. Of course I would, because that person already did that for you. It's not something, oh, well, if so many years into our marriage I went to jail, would you have done it for me? Would you have? I probably would have hesitated, but that person already went to jail for you. Or they went to jail, you went to jail and they held you down. So this thing already passed. So it tells you how faithful and how honest and how loyal she is. But for you to sit on the internet or on TV where millions and millions and millions of people are watching, and for you to say, no, I would have never went to jail for her if the roles were reversed, is very hurtful. It's very hurtful to her. It's very hurtful to the children that are going to see this so many years down the line whenever they are old enough, because once it's in the internet, honey, nothing goes away. Nothing goes away. So he basically said no, he wouldn't be able to, go to jail for her if the roles were reversed. And to me, like I said before, I wouldn't be able to do that for a man. I would never even think about doing that for a man. That's just not something that I would do. I'm sorry. I'm not that loyal. I'm not the ride or die who's going to stick by you when you're in jail. You got 2 days. I found out you do something. You got 2 whole days. You are in jail, honey. All of a sudden, I don't know your number. I don't know who. No, honey. That is not what I'm here for. I'm not going to stop my life for any man. I don't care if you have children with me. If you're in jail, I might keep your number just because your kids have to talk to you, just because I'm going to build that friendship with you. But if my kids are under certain age, they're not going to jail to see you. I'm sorry. You should have thought about that before you did whatever you did. But my whole thing with that is Black women in particular. I can only speak from experience, not from experience, but from what I've seen and what I've seen in our community. I see that a lot. A lot of Black women will literally put their life on hold for a man, as if like you don't know your worth and you don't know that you can find another man. You don't have to stick with this good for nothing man. I mean, not saying anybody, all men that went to jail or go to jail are good for nothing. But at the end of the day, if you want something serious with that particular person, you don't think about them. You don't think, okay, well, if I go to jail, would this person be able to stay with me? Would this person be able to deal with all of the chaos that goes with someone being in jail, a partner being in jail, and you not having that intimate moment with your partner? Those stuff are important. But to me, what I think, don't mind me guys, I'm like grabbing my but anyways, like that's like you settling for a man who has 5 children when he would not bat an eye for you. If the roles are reversed, if you had 5 children, a man would never stop his life and say, I'm gonna be with this woman, a Black woman at that, because our brothers are not gonna do that for us. They're not gonna do that for us. And that is the reason why I would never put myself in the line for no man. I don't care who you are. I will not watch you go to jail, watch you throw your life away for 5 years in jail because you were stupid at the moment. You didn't think about the consequences, but now I have to stop my life for you. Or date a man who has children. That's almost kind of the same thing. I don't know. It's like, if I don't have children, I'm not going to date someone who has children. At least not 5 kids. That's a lot of kids, because that's just too much. That's just too much, So for him to say no, he would not have gone to jail for her, even though she waited for him. I don't know if she was doing her thing on the side, but honey, on the internet, she was there for him. She was holding down the family. She was fighting the baby mama. She was fighting this and fighting that. And that's another thing too. She was left having to deal with all of those baby mamas that he left behind. But because she got married to him and picked up all those packages that he came with, now she got to deal with them. And she dealt with them for 5 years. Not like he didn't see it. I'm sure they got prison. I'm sure they got TV in jail. He saw how she was literally putting herself out there with all of those other baby mamas who were very, very bitter that she was the one that got married to him. Although to me, that's not really a blessing, because honey, you were doing all of the work. Well, they got to live their life, they got to go on vacation, do this and that. I'm sure she probably went on vacation, but it was never the same. It's not the same. So to me, my heart really goes out to her, because when I watch her crying like that, it really, really like touched me. It was like, oh, poor girl, embarrassing herself on TV for some stupid man. Some stupid man who would never do the same for her. I am so sorry about that, but I just wanted to come on here and just kind of state my opinion on that. I'm just not that kind of girl. I would never stop my life for some dude just because you decide to go to jail. You decide to do something stupid and end up in jail, and you feel like in order for me to be a good wife, I should wait for you. And not saying that, you know, I've never been married, so I don't know how all of this thing is, but my parents were married. My parents were married. A man will do to you what you allow him to do to you. She ran and got married to him as soon as, or yeah, as soon as he found out that he was gonna go to jail, she decided, okay, I'm gonna marry him. So it was her choice. She decided to marry him so she can be embarrassed on TV. She can look bad on TV by him telling the entire world that I don't know if I'd be able to stick around for her. I don't know if I'd be able to just, you know, use my hand in the meantime and not cheat and not this and not that. Look at Remy and Papoose. They did just fine. I mean, clearly everybody has problems in their relationship, but he held her down. So I just wanted to like mention that because I think that is really, really cute. I think they are really, really adorable together. They rep black love, blah blah blah, which is great, and I hope that their relationship is just as perfect as they show it to the screen, like at us, or they show it to us. But from what they show, they're doing pretty good. He held her down for a really, really long time. And when she came out, he really wanted to marry her. And he really wanted her to have a child. You could see that from like the TV shows and all that stuff. Clearly, like I said before, the internet is not always true. They're not really doing what they're showing you on the internet. That's why I said don't really base your relationship based on what you see celebrities do or what you see people online do. But from what they show, they seem like a really, really happy couple. I don't know. I just feel really bad for Yandy. I mean, she's so cute. What the hell is that? What is that in my wine? But anyways, guys, this is all that I want to say about this situation. I just feel really bad for her. And I see this go on every single day in our community, and I'm just so over it. I'm so over like black women settling for a good for nothing guy just because but he got some good dick. Is that it? Because majority of them, that would have been their answers. That would have been their answers. Sad to say, but that would have been their answers. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to wait for you that long. Oh, I don't know if I'd be able to be in a relationship with you if you have 5 kids. But you would settle for that. You would accept that. Why is that? Why? Why don't you put your comment below if you've been in that situation before, or if you would have settled for a guy, or if you would have settled with a guy if he had to end up in jail and you find out about him going to jail, but you still married him anyways. Because I don't know what's going on with girls nowadays, but their brain is all gone. They get some dick and all of a sudden out the window it goes. Anyways, guys, talk to you later.